I know President Trump said that we would get tired of winning, but I just can't get enough. Now, Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon, he's ready to put America back at the top of the food chain. And isn't that right, Mercy?
That's right. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth had his first opportunity to interact with members of the Pentagon today, making it crystal clear what his mission is.
Restore the warrior ethos, make sure that we get back to basics. Our job is to deter conflict and, if necessary, defeat and completely destroy, demoralize, and defeat our enemies. That's what we do. We do war fighting here at the Department of Defense. And we want to restore that through a laser focus on readiness, lethality, and war fighting.
Hegseth is pushing for a renewed focus on America's military strength and a return to the core values of warriors. His no-nonsense message calls out the past 4 years of ridiculous, woke military priorities.
I think the single dumbest phrase in military history is our diversity is our strength.
Matt, your impression on Pete Hegseth's first, really, I would say, engagement with the Pentagon and delivering this strong message of deterring war and this warrior ethos that he's trying to bring back?
I think this is a continuation of exactly the themes that helped him turn his confirmation fight around. There was a phase in there where the media really thought they sensed blood in the water and thought that they had an opportunity with Democrats to topple him. But when he shifted the conversation to that warrior ethos, the warfighter focus, but also accountability, when he started talking about the fall of Afghanistan and the lack of accountability from the Pentagon, I think a lot of Republican senators and people in general started to say, wait a second, this is different. This is different than what we've been hearing, and this is what we need. This is fresh. And I think that especially in his confirmation hearing, when he was really able to make that message, but also turn a lot of the Democrat questions around on them and say, wait a second, where were you guys demanding accountability when generations of our warfighters saw the country that they had fought for and bled in handed back over to terrorists? That was devastating to the morale of our soldiers around the world. And it wasn't the only event that happened in the last 4 years that did that. Yeah. I think that that's when Pete turned things around, and that's what he's continuing now in these first remarks.
Look, he's a strong communicator, no doubt, but there is the reality of it's a massive department, Matthew Foldi. Will Pete Hegseth be able to find, fix these problems that we're seeing? Not only does Hegseth want to make the United States military a powerhouse, he wants transparency and to hold the military accountable for the U.S. taxpayer dollars. The Pentagon has not only failed 7 consecutive audits, it has never passed one. And 2 weeks ago, into the job, Hegseth is pledging to pass one.
That includes a Pentagon audit, which, to the Marines out there, y'all got to figure it out. And we appreciate that. Lean and mean. We are going to focus heavily to ensure that, at a bare minimum, by the end of 4 years, the Pentagon passes a clean audit. The American taxpayers deserve that. They deserve to know where their $850 billion go, how it's spent, and make sure it's spent wisely.
So, Foldi, there's even been mention that President Trump's saying to Elon Musk, go and check out what's happening in the Pentagon with the spending. This is a big issue. Can Hegseth get control of this issue?
It's a great question. And to Whitlock's point on the lack of accountability that we've seen, remember, there was only one person who had any serious consequence in America for Biden's withdrawal, and it was my friend Steve Nichols, who was arrested for disrupting Joe Biden's State of the Union, and Congress had to plead for the charges to be dropped there. No one was fired. No one was even demoted for any of this. And I think that what's important with Hegseth is 2 things so far. One was, I think, his very clear response to the tragic plane and helicopter crash that we saw, being on the scene alongside Sean Duffy, the new transportation secretary there. And the other thing that we talked about, I think, 2 days ago here, which was the surge in military recruitment numbers. Right. And I think that, he can talk the talk, right? I mean, he's done a great job on Fox News. But what we're seeing with the results from the election to now, with more people wanting to join the military morale hopefully on the rise, and hopefully passing some audits, which sounds like a really difficult thing to do for the Pentagon, that's what I think people...
I wouldn't know how he sounds on Fox News. I don't watch Fox News.
I know. Listen, I said that if it didn't work out, we have Carl Higbie on Newsmax, who would have done a good job.